Hey guys, it's been a while since we've done a shop tour and want to show you some new things that have been going on in the shop, including a new 4-post lift that you can see in the background. So I want to walk you through that and show you a couple other things. All right, let's start with the 4-post lift. So this is from BendPak. It's their HD-9XW. This is a heavy duty lift. We wanted to get the larger lift so we can put our tow vehicle up on it if we need to. This is mostly where Sabine lives, and then Stella lives below her. What we really love about the lift, and I'll walk you through, the guys came, installers came, took a day, basically four posts, as you can tell, where they're bolted to the ground. So it didn't have to do anything special to the concrete. Some 2-post lifts if your concrete isn't heavy enough, or thick enough, I should say, heavy duty enough, you have to go and pour different footers. In this case, you can just set this one up. So let's walk through here. Controls, pretty straightforward. You just need air, and we've just got a kind of a cheapy standard run-of-the-mill air compressor, so nothing fancy. So air gets plumbed in here, and that runs two things. One, it runs the jacks that I'll show you here in a minute, and it also runs the release for the pins. And then I installed this little quick breaker. You just start, stop, pretty straightforward. And then you've got your release lever that drops it down, and then you've got your raise button. So it's 220 volt that I've got from the wall. I wanted to keep it pretty simple. We may reroute this later, but I'll walk you through some of the temporary routing we did. All right, so as you can see, we've got the red air line. It goes up to our reel, and then that goes down to our compressor. And then we've got 220 in the wall, and I just bought a long RV cord and routed it the same way. So when we're not using it, I can just unplug it, coil it up, and it's out of the way. We used to have this draped on the ground, but what we found are these little magnetic clips that I'll put in the comments or in the description. They work great. They're temporary, but they hold everything out of the way. So we did a transmission change last weekend, and then nothing's on the floor, so we can bring it in and out. In the future, we'll probably hardwire and hard plumb in all the electricals and air. But for now, this works pretty good. All right, so let's take a look at under the car. As you can see, way better being under the car with access to everything compared to being under 4 jack stands. I've been working on cars as a hobbyist for 30 years, and I'll tell you, this is a game changer. We changed this transmission out a weekend or so ago, and it was way easier. So just great access. I'll show you some lighting that we put in, some of these LED strips. Again, I'll put the link to it in the description below. But really what's also nice is we bought 2 of these air jacks, and they roll. And what's cool is once they're up, they're on a little leaf spring. It's hard to see, but these basically cinch down so it bottoms out so they can't roll anymore. They've got little extenders, so these slide in and out, and then you can put different adapters on top of there. They come with a whole set of these. They've also got little ring adapters, and I'll show you those here in a minute. But you can roll these anywhere under the car, and then it's very simple. They've got a little pump you just push down, and it jacks up, and then this goes on a hard stop, so you're not on air pressure keeping it up. You're actually on a hard mechanical stop, which I like. And then to drop it down, you just simply release it by pulling this down and it releases it. Game changer. Again, we've got 2 of those here and then at the back. Tricky bit. So those of you with low cars, I will say check your clearances. We actually have to put the car up on little blocks of wood to clear it because we've got a skid plate on our race car here, and you can see there's not a lot of clearance here. So just be mindful of that as you go through and decide if you want this or not. All right, let's take a look at the adapters that come with the jack kit. So you get these little pucks, so those slide into the little piece that was coming in and out. And if you have maybe a higher vehicle or a truck or something, you can just keep adding spacers onto it as high as you want, really. So if you got a really tall truck, you know, you can put as many spacers on. What's really nice is, and I'll put this link in the description, is our friends over at PowerFlex. They sent us these that go up and under the frame rail. So if you've got a little crimp, which most cars do, instead of smashing that crimp with your jack, this kind of cradles it. Really super nice, really hard, rock hard. This is the same material they use on their suspension bushings that we've got in the car. So we've been using those bushings for a couple of years now. Won a bunch of things, so we'll stand behind their product, and they sent us these to try and love them. And I'll send you a link to that video that we did on this one as well. So you get 2 of these with the kit, and then you get 2 each of these with the kit, and I would highly recommend you go and pick up a set of these. They're not that expensive, and they work great for jacking. Another side benefit is you can put these on your little floor jack too. They work like a charm. As part of the upgrades to the garage, we wanted to mount some electrical, so we've got a little retractable power, and of course the retractable air. Board is bolted right into the stud, so this isn't going anywhere. But what's nice is we can run this and have power anywhere in the garage. And so these LEDs, all the controllers are in this little 3D printed box that I designed up and printed. Just a little simple box. But as you can see, these LEDs are crazy bright. Look at that. No more flashlights. When we do a nut and bolt, which basically just checks, make sure none of the bolts have backed out, we paint pen everything. This used to take us a while because we'd have to crawl under the car, jack it up, get flashlights. Now we literally just walk under the car, turn on the LEDs. Nut and bolt is like, it's gonna be like a minute. It's gonna be crazy. So LEDs are just peel and stick. We'll see how long they last. The other nice thing we did is we were finding as we were working on the car that we were putting the tools up here and didn't quite like that. And so we designed and built, #Kyle, these little trays. So real simple design, nothing fancy, and they sit right here in the rail. They just drop in. They're big enough for a magnetic tray you can put in there. And then for deeper well things, we built this little guy. Again, pretty simple. And it too goes in, you can slide it anywhere. And those work awesome. No complaints at all. All right, so let's also talk about what comes with the lift. So we've got these heavy duty ramps. They've got this little, looks like weld spackle that they've painted over. It's got really good grip, but man, these things will tear your fingers up, so just caution there. Because our car is pretty low, we had to cut some little extenders so it wouldn't bottom out anything. But it's pretty simple. Those, you just slide this little rail, this little pin out, and there's a little tube that's welded on the inside, and you just slide it in, slide the pin back, and then that's it, they're in place. You can leave them in place, but they hang down here, and because we drive our other car in and out, someone eventually was gonna clock their head, so we just took them off, and it takes literally a minute to put them back on. Okay, the other thing you'll need to be mindful of, obviously, is the height of your ceiling. My ceilings are 12 foot, and so, you know, it's pretty straightforward to be able to bring the car all the way up, but what I had to do is move my garage door opener to this style, which is more of a jack style that interfaces right with the axle of the garage door opener. And then it's just simple, it's just attached, pulls it straight up and straight over. Pretty simple and gets out of the way. So as you can see, with Stella parked below Sabine, tons of room. No problem getting in and out. The other thing I didn't mention that came with the kit, with the lift, are these 2 drip trays, and they just kind of slide on the rail. And again, with the old race car, I don't want oil and whatever to drip on Stella. Well, that's the walk around of our BendPak 4-post lift. If you have any questions or comments, just leave them down in the comment section below. And I read all the comments, and we'll post any answers we may have.